What is the last time you had to pay for a stick?
Well, I've had pro pricing the last couple of years. So like those same like $350, $400 sticks, if I want a new set, I get like $150, $175 a piece, which is a smoking deal. And then I get the new demos early, which, I get taken care of by the Warrior guys and whatnot. But I've always been taken really good care of for sticks. And even, playing pro, they give you the second of the line sticks or whatnot. You get like 6 of them. I take them, I sell them, I use that money, I buy my own sticks because I don't like those type of sticks. They're heavy. Some of them are foam core. But what do you think of goalies breaking sticks though?
Well, I think I just gave you my opinion on that.
Goalie specifically, though, because I know guys break them on the bench, but a goalie gives up a bad goal and then, boom, just tomahawk it over the post. See you later.
Well, I think it's a little bit different for goaltenders. I mean, to me, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, it wasn't the stick. I mean, for players, more often than not, if you make a bad play, you can blame the stick. It's usually not the stick, but you can blame the stick. But for goaltenders, 9 times out of 10, unless, we seen guys come out. Who was it the other day? I think the Flower. The Flower had one where his stick just snapped, right? Like, he just went out to play it. And he just put tension on the wrong part, and it snapped on him. So it's never the goaltender's fault when he's letting a goal behind him over his glove or over his blocker in between, whatever. It's not the stick's fault. That's just frustration. I understand frustration better than anyone. Again, I think it's setting a bad example for the kids who are seeing that and going, I'm going to do that too, and the parents are pulling their hair out for the the price of them. But I have a better question for you.
Sure.
The deal that you get, as far as being, the pro deal that you talked about, right? So you're paying wholesale, right?
Cheaper than that. Pretty much cost.
Okay, perfect.
And I'm very privileged to get that, by the way. I'm very fortunate.
Is that because, and it's called a pro deal, right? Mm-hmm. Is that because you are playing semi-pro hockey, or is that because what you're doing inside of the ether of the online community?
Both. So, like when I was in the Fed, I get the Fed pricing, right? So like the same sticks, those are the prices the guys in the Fed would pay, but you'd have to order through their team. And sometimes the team doesn't want to put that order in because they'd be paying up front. Sticks would come in, maybe I give them a couple bucks off my paycheck to get those pro level sticks. I'm fortunate where the guys at Warrior want to take care of me, and I love the Warrior stuff. So I can order whatever I want directly through them as a part of their pro program, the same way the guys in the KHL would or whatever other pro leagues would have it be. And instead of the team paying it, I pay it. So, and I don't want to start giving specific prices because they do take really good care of me and I get a great deal on them, but that's pro pricing.
Okay. So let's just say down the road, you decide to stop chasing down pro hockey, but you're going to continue doing the online thing. Mm-hmm. Do you still get extended that pro pricing?
I guess we'll find out soon enough, won't we?
I would assume so because it's always got to be a benefit to them. Or is it being visible? Is it being seen, right? And I would assume, based on some of the leagues that you've played in, you're getting more eyes on the gear that you're using online than you are when people are going to the games. Is that fair?
I'm putting ads and stickers on the gear anyway because I'm still paying for them. Because my idea was, I know I'm still paying a significantly discounted price, but instead of paying to promote another company, why don't I get paid to use the gear and that'll offset the price, if not pay for it all completely?
So that's kind of what I'm getting to is what criteria do you have to meet in order to be considered professional?
So I think to be a true pro, like a not minor pro, a real pro, your full-time income based off hockey has to sustain your lifestyle. So, and I mean, I guess that's kind of interpretive because if I'm living at home with my parents at 25, 26, I don't pay any rent. I mean, anything more than $1 basically makes me a full-time pro because I don't have any expenses or any overhead. But if I'm living on my own or I have a family to feed, like a lot of guys in the East Coast do, they have to make more money or they have to play in the American League. So I would say, what do you say? Do you think 30,000 is fair? 30,000 a year is a fair full-time pro salary to sustain it independently?
Well, I think the definition online would lead people to believe that you have to at least 50% of more than 50% of your income has to be coming through your sport. Now, it's interesting in the definition, if I remember correctly, it's through your sport, not from your sport, right? Now, there's been I'll use Michael Phelps as an example. He was always considered a amateur swimmer. He was never a professional swimmer because he was not taking prize money when he would win these races in the pool, right? He won all those medals in the Olympics, but he made a ton of money through endorsement. So he made money through his sport, but not directly from his sport. So it didn't qualify him as a professional. Mm-hmm. But here you are in a situation where you're making money through hockey, but not directly. I mean, you are making money from hockey, but the money that you're making through hockey exceeds what you're making from the actual game. Mm-hmm. So I think that's an interesting question when it comes down to what makes you a professional when it comes to sport.
Well, what about this? So for minor pro, though, I know you're saying like to be a true pro, 50% of your income from the sport or through the sport, right? Through or from?
Well, it says through the sport. It doesn't say from the sport. It says through the sport.
Okay. So if you're playing minor pro, though, guys in the Fed, I think the highest paid guy makes $1,200 a week, so $5,000 a month. And this is like the top player. So $5,000 a month.
$60,000 a year.
Ish, US, and obviously it's all under the table. So that's a significant chunk of change for the best player in the league. But if you're the average guy who makes between $500 to $700 a month ish, so that's what, $5,000 a season, $6,000 a season ish. I guess they're not making a whole lot of money in the summer because a lot of guys live at home. A lot of guys live off, live at the team housing. That's actually a real thing. Guys will stay for the full summer and just cash in on that. So are they considered pros? Well, they're not doing anything else for money outside of that, so that's their full-time income. But then again, if you took what I make and just totally sliced off the YouTube, the podcast, the vlog, the sponsorship deals, all that stuff.
You're living in someone's basement.
Of course. But that's 100% of my income is coming from playing professional hockey or minor pro hockey. So I guess it's interpretive, but I would also consider if, let's say, I went to go play for a team and they said, okay, we're not going to give you $150 a week, $125 a week, whatever, but we're going to cover all your housing. You don't pay a single penny for housing for the next 6 months, 8 months. You live in a great spot. We'll give you sticks. We'll give you a vehicle. We'll give you a little bit of food money. Like here's some groceries, whatnot. Is that pro hockey? Because although I'm not getting paid cash, I'm getting compensated with basically every other expense that I have. What do you think?
Well, again, the reason why I bring it up is because the odd time when I peruse through the comments on the YouTube podcast, there are people who are like, you're not a professional, you're not a professional. So I'm just kind of wondering, what is the threshold for people to, I mean, do you have to be making millions to be considered a pro? Or does it mean that that's your full-time job? That's what you do. You don't do anything else outside of that to supplement that. That's your only gig. Does that not make you a pro?
I think there's only one way to solve that, and that's leave a comment in the comment section or call our voicemail line, the red line, and let us know what you think.
Well, look, the guys from Dude Perfect, you're familiar with that YouTube channel, right?
They're awesome.
Would you consider them professional athletes?
Ooh, that's a good question. Have any of them played a game of minor pro sports?
No.
Just on YouTube?
Just on YouTube. But
that's tough.
Okay, so are they professional trick shot artists?
100%.
Okay. So
let's use Zach Bell, though, because Zach Bell, he's never played a single, well, I think he's only played like 3 or 4 games of junior, no college hockey, no pro hockey. He does little stick trick deals, and he's getting $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 a year just off Instagram brand deals. Is he a professional? He's never played a game of pro hockey, but he's reining it in. He's making more than most guys in the American League.
Right.
So
now, and again, this comes down to maybe a larger conversation, but some people don't consider golf a sport. It's a game. It's a game. And there's a lot of athletes that play that game and realize, hey, if I'm in better shape, I'm going to play this game better. But you don't have to be in tip-top shape. And John Daly is a great example of that.
Legend.
Baseball, they call it America's pastime. There's an argument, and I'm not going to say what it is or the other, but you don't, if you're Bartolo Colon, you're not exactly a high-performing athlete, but you can zing a ball in at 102 miles an hour.
Or David Ortiz.
Right. I mean, take your pick. Curling here in Canada. You don't have to be an athlete, but it certainly helps when you are. Mm-hmm. And so if you're getting money from that, all of a sudden you're considered a pro athlete. So I think it's a bigger conversation, and not that I'm triggered by it at all, but I know that's, from what I've seen, that's a big dominant comment in there going, oh, you're not a pro, where I go, this is all you do. This is all you do.
Well, at the end of the day, people can have whatever opinion they want because this is a public show. You're allowed to have that opinion. But I've played pro games. I've cashed checks playing professional hockey, whether they're from sketchy checks you have to cash at a Russian bank or a prepaid Visa. I've gotten paid to play hockey. I've gotten free gear. I've gotten free living. I've lived a lifestyle. I've got a life experience, and my life has been changed because of it. And you can never take that away from me.
Right.
Have I made millions? I wish, but I've done it. I've lived a lifestyle. I've played pro hockey. You'll never take that away from me.
Well, somebody who does YouTube in their part-time, they're not making millions on it, but are they making a few extra dollars?
Let me ask you this, though. One of the guys that I played with in Watertown, he was the highest paid guy on the team. He also had a landscaping business making $100,000 a year, most of that coming in the summertime. But hockey was just a slice of pie in the whole scheme of his income. So is he a professional then, or is he not?
Professional landscaper? I would say so.
Of course, but that's making way more money. And he did a great job, too. He had a lot of good Google reviews.
Yeah.
But he's making way more doing the landscaping than he was playing professional hockey. So by those standards, he's not a professional hockey player, even though He's played games. He was our best player. He was our leading scorer. Great personal friend of mine as well. So call the voicemail line. We have a new voicemail. It's called the Red Line. You can go on the link in the video description, leave a voicemail, call it anytime, anywhere. Anybody can call about whatever you want. Leave a voicemail, and you might make the next show because let us know what you think about that.
Are we going to get to a few of those?
End of the show.
Hey, every Sunday, a new podcast goes up, but if you don't have time to watch the whole thing, there's clips everywhere and just segmented stuff on your favorite players. Go subscribe to Slang and the Biscuit. You can click these boxes because who doesn't like clicking boxes?